Hi everyone, I tried to make a video about this topic before, but for some reason I was not interested that time in politics because I was already going through so much, and all politics bring is nastiness and negative thinking. But now, because of the condition in society, conservatives are taking over. People are going to extreme length to either eradicating trans people. They cannot understand the idea, and not just trans but LGBTQ completely, and they're trying to push us back to those days when we have to hide about ourselves, we have to hide and live in closet. And it was risky because people were still finding out about us and we were in trouble most of the time. And I just want to say that I don't have conservative views, and some people mistake my views for being conservatives. I can imagine why, because I did say in some of my live streams that trans women shouldn't be in women's sports, women toilets. Well, the reason why I said that is because I believe in safety for everyone, not just our community but other communities as well. Just because they're not part of my community, I cannot just be selfish and just be unfair to other people. And that's why I said that. And I know trans women, a real trans woman would never want to harm a cisgender woman, unless if that's genuine cause or something like fight and stuff and they have to protect themselves. But there will be people who will be disguising themselves in clothes and who will be taking advantage of the situation, and they can take access to those places, and we cannot take risks because it does give a bad name to our community. That's why I believe that they shouldn't be in those places, and we should have our own rights. We should have our own places, our own safe places. Just like when women fought for their rights, we should fight for our rights rather than pinching it away from other people's rights. We should create our own doors. And same thing with the sports, that it is unfair for most female that if a trans person going to female sports, because we have completely different life experience and you don't know somebody's anatomy. There is a cliche that most trans people are big and big shoulders and strong and this and that because they're filled with testosterone, but some of them are, and because there's a possibility, then obviously some people will take advantage of that, and it can be possible, and that happened, and that will cause problem in society among those people who will fight with each other, like women and trans women. So I mean that I don't like my community. I want my community to flourish, and I'm against anyone who's thinking of the ideology for eradicating trans women or LGBTQ people, because I know they exist. I know what they go through in daily life. I know their problem and I know they are genuine, and I want to protect them. But just because I have a devotion towards my community, towards my people, I'm not going to take wrong sides, because the women are also equally important to me as well. I cannot be unfair to people, to anyone. And that's how we're going to establish our respect among society. And that's what humans should do. When you see other human in crisis, and if you see somebody who is going to be suffering because of us or because of whatever reason, we have to help them, elevate them from going to suffer, rather than just thinking about our own benefit and trying to suffer others and do not care about others. And that's how we can establish our respect among society, and I think most part of LGBTQ people will agree with me on that. That's why we are creating these groups like radical TERFs and all, because they are not against just trans women, they're against men most of the time because they have bad experiences and whatever with men. And I don't want to say like that I'm supporting them. I am against that because obviously I do not like it when somebody foul-mouthed with me who's TERF and who say anything against trans women as if we don't exist, as if our problems are not real and it's just in our head. So I obviously it's gonna hurt me, and I'm aware of it. I'm not just blinded by the fantasy world. At the same time, I still think they deserve their respect, self-respect. They deserve the protection because they are also human just like us. So why would I be unfair to anyone just because they have a different set of ideology? And if we stop being extreme, then they will stop being extreme as well. Hopefully. If they're not, but at least we will be at peace that we are not doing anything wrong and we are only fighting for our rights, where we belong. I was born into a family and into a religion who believe in complete submission to the God's will and to what the religious text says. And you cannot go anywhere against it. You cannot even deny even a tiny bit of fact that is written in that text and that scripture. You cannot go against it, because if you have a problem with any of it, then you're not part of that group and you are committing the act of blasphemy. And I felt so sad after hearing that, because I really love God. I really do. Because since childhood, I grew up by myself without letting anyone know who I am, what I feel, trying to hide within myself, hiding from the world, hiding from being ridiculed in the world, and the only friend I had was God. And I was so personal with God. When these people used to say that you are not part of you're committing sin and you're not doing something right, you are against God, and you have completely ditched your roots and everything, it hurts. Because just because I'm not agreeing with everything in the scripture doesn't mean that I'm going against God, because I still love God. There are few things that you don't understand and you have all the rights to question it, because you don't want to be unfair to anyone. I'm not saying God is being unfair to anyone, but there are a few things in all religions that when you hear about them, it makes you question that why is that, and some of them you don't agree. A reality of life, the punishment, the harshness of life, the suffering, sometimes it is overwhelming and we don't understand the concept of it, and we do question God and the motives, and there is absolutely nothing wrong. It doesn't mean that we don't love God, but because people like us, when we question it, we get ridiculed and we've been told that we are doing blasphemy and stuff. That is pathetic, because we have so much love towards God. And if I have a question, I would be more comfortable asking that question to somebody I know rather than asking someone from outside. And if these people be just little understanding, little tolerable, then we wouldn't have to go and seek the answers outside and try to hide and suppress our feelings, and just have open discussions rather than living in fear of being called blasphemer and stuff. So I can totally understand when people say about that some trans women are at risk, or if you're slightly like supporting women, and if you're saying that trans women shouldn't use women toilets and women's sports, then you're completely against our community. It puts me back to the same place where I feel like that I have no free will. I cannot choose. I have to do complete submission blindly, and that is not right. This is so hurtful. I hope you understand my motive. And I truly believe that humans should just learn to live among each other peacefully. Otherwise, it will be too late for the humanity to wake up, and we will suffer. We will all suffer because of this. You better get your ass right. Thank you very much. Bye.